your guy Bendu, and today I'm coming at y'all with a video, and I'm continuing with my Assange coverage. So I specifically wanted to inform you guys of who the United States' star witness against Assange is. So let's go ahead and get right into that. All right, so as y'all know, I covered this already. I covered this partially already, and I was going to continue the coverage, but that's what I'm doing now. Key witness in Assange case admits to lies in the indictment. A major witness in the United States' Department of Justice case against Julian Assange has admitted to fabricating key accusations in the indictment against the WikiLeaks founder. A major witness in the United States' Department of Justice case against Julian Assange has admitted to fabricating key accusations in the indictment against the WikiLeaks founder. The witness, who has a documented history with sociopathy, and I'm about to get into that right now, and has received several convictions for sexual abuse of minors and wide-ranging financial fraud, made the admission in a newly published interview in Stundon, where he also confessed to having continued his crime spree whilst working with the Department of Justice and FBI and receiving a promise of immunity from prosecution. Sounds familiar. You know, the United States, and I'm going to, this is a video I'm going to be doing either on Wednesday or Friday, because I just find it interesting just to tie all this together, but I want to mention it here. It's very fascinating how the United States, you know, tends to always cut deals with pedophiles. So weird, you know, and rapists. So fucking weird. Like, we saw this obviously with what's going on now. There's gonna be a video dropping on the channel as well today about that. The Bill Cosby situation. Crazy. Obviously Epstein, you know, Ghislaine Maxwell, like all of these, you know, rapists and pedophiles and shit like that commit, you know, the most heinous sex crimes and, that you can commit. And it's like, you know, the United States seems to cut deals with them. It's insane. It's almost as if the people in charge are also down with that style of life themselves. I don't know. Maybe I'm, going full Alex Jones here, tinfoil hat. I'm just saying. The man in question, Sigurdur Engi Thordsson, was recruited by U.S. authorities to build a case against Assange after misleading them to believe he was previously a close associate of his. In fact, he had volunteered on a limited basis to raise money for WikiLeaks in 2010, but was found to have used that opportunity to embezzle more than $50,000 from the organization. Julian Assange was visiting Thordarsson's home country of Iceland around this time due to his work with Icelandic media and members of parliament in preparing the Icelandic Modern Media Initiative, a press freedom project that produced a parliamentary resolution supporting whistleblowers and investigative journalism. So while this guy was, raping, young little boys, was raping boys, underage boys, and running Ponzi schemes and shit like that. And I'm going to get into that, not in this video, but another one. It's going to drop on Wednesday. But while he was doing this, Julian Assange was fighting for press freedoms, even at that point. So, this guy's allowed to walk around, he's free. He got immunity. While Julian Assange is sitting in a cell for doing journalism. That shows you that the United States doesn't give a shit about freedom of speech and journalism, including Joe Biden. This is the motherfucker himself. I'm not gonna roast him. I'm not I'm not gonna roast him. You feel me? Because somebody might hype him, somebody on Twitter might run a smear campaign on me saying I'm body shaming this guy. I'm body shaming a pedophile or a rapist. So, I'm just gonna, but this is who he is. This is Sigurdur Engi Thordarson, however the fuck you say his name. Yeah, this is the guy they're letting the all right, I don't give a fuck. If anybody look like a child molester, it's this guy. Bro, what the fuck, dog? What the fuck? He looked like the fucking son from King of the Hill, bro. Bro, why his face look like a chicken nugget? I don't know if y'all been watching. I don't know if y'all been watching the Loki series. Why he look like Miss Minutes got hit in the face with a sack of nickels. It looks like he got into a fight with a. It looked like he got into a fight with the Wendy's clerk, and she hit him in the face with a sack of frozen chicken nuggets, bro. What the fuck is that nigga? Who the fuck is that guy? Conor McGregor.
Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that? You know damn well who I am. Who the fuck is that?
Oh my God, bro. Oh my God. All right, I'm done. I'm done. Yo, why does motherfucker look like Igor from Van Helsing, bro? All right, I'm done now. I'm done. This is the motherfucker, the United States government, the child molester and Ponzi scheme person runner thing. The United States government is letting run around free while they have Assange in the cell. I know I'm supposed to be taking this seriously. I'm not laughing at Assange like Crystal Ball was, and Saga and Jetty. I'm not doing that. I'm just like roasting the fuck out of this motherfucker right now because I think it's funny to do that. I think it's appropriate. So I'm going to link the article down below because I'm just picking out certain sections to cover them in the specific videos. Because honestly, I'm not trying to put out like an 1.5 hour long video, which I actually did a full video covering the full article. And for me to get all the information and cover it the way that I felt was comfortable for y'all and is informing y'all the best, it was literally like an 1.5 hours. And I know some of y'all will watch that, but for me, I ain't trying to put out a whole hour video. So I decided to break it down into the categories of the article and just pick out certain shit. So we're going to cover who this motherfucker is first. Not a hacker, but a sociopath. I'm still thinking of shit to roast him with, bro. I might do a separate section, put it on Twitter or Instagram, just roasting the shit out this motherfucker for like an hour, dog, bro. I definitely know y'all motherfuckers will watch that shit. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be serious. I'm not cutting this at all, by the way. This is all going out uncut because this shit is hilarious, bro. All right. Let me drink some water, dog. I thought that joke was funny. I said why he looked like he got into a fight with a Wendy's clerk and she hit him in the face with a sack of frozen chicken nuggets. By the way, I love Wendy's chicken nuggets, man. Wendy's has the best chicken nuggets, bro. Real talk. As a fat guy myself, a big guy myself, I'm telling you, bro. Like I really don't get how people don't listen to fat people when we tell y'all where the best food is. Like I think we wouldn't. All right, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing right now. We're gonna get into this. Not a hacker, but a sociopath. Thordarson has been nicknamed Siggy the Hacker in Iceland. Why they name him that, bro? All right. Oh my God, this is actually an antonym, as several sources Stunden has talked to claim that Thordarson's computer ability is menial. This is supported by several chat logs and documents where he is requesting assistance from others doing rather uncomplicated computer jobs. Once he even sought FBI expert help in uploading a video from his own phone. Some hacker, that is. The meeting in Denmark was the first of a few where the FBI enthusiastically embraced the idea of cooperation with Thordarson. He says they wanted to know everything about WikiLeaks, including physical security of staff. They took material he had gathered, including data he had stolen from WikiLeaks employees, and even planned to send him to England with a wire. Thordarson claimed in interviews he had refused that particular request. It was probably because he was not welcomed anymore, as he knew WikiLeaks people had found out or were about to firmly establish that he had embezzled funds from the organization. After months of collaboration with the FBI, the FBI seemed to have lost interest. At about the same time, charges were piling up against Thordarson with the Icelandic authorities for massive fraud, forgeries, and theft on the one hand, and for sexual violations against underage boys he had tricked or forced into sexual acts on the other. So he's a pedophile. And this is the guy they're letting walk free while they put Julian Assange in a fucking cell for doing journalism. This is America. This is your free press. So I don't want to hear shit about Jim Acosta anymore. I don't want to hear shit about, Biden, snapping on journalists, because they're all garbage, because none of them are speaking up for Assange right now. Actually, talk about the media and how they pamper Biden. And it's crazy because I just saw another video where Biden snapped on a reporter because they're like, he's saying, all right, like, y'all are pushing too much pro-war shit. Like he's telling them to calm down with the pro-war rhetoric. Joe Biden. This is how crazy the media is now. And this is honestly why they don't, they don't like Assange. They don't like Assange because he went against the Democratic establishment in 2016 with Hillary Clinton when he released the leaks that were not hacks, as Bill Binney has already debunked. It's actually more credible that somebody actually stuck like a flash drive or something in there, and that's how they got the data. That's from Bill Binney. I'm going to take the word over Bill Binney, a guy who knows the NSA's top code breaker. I'm going to take his word over it. Whistleblower. That they tried to do him dirty too. They tried to do him like Snowden and Reality Winner and like all the whistleblowers, all of them, Chelsea Manning. So yeah, I'm going to take his word. So this is the guy they're allowing to walk around while Assange is in the cell. After long investigation, Storderson was sentenced in 2013 and 14 and received relatively lenient sentences as the judge took into account that he changed his plea at court and pleaded guilty to all counts. According to a psychiatric assessment presented to the court, Storderson was diagnosed as a sociopath incapable of remorse, but still criminally culpable for his actions. He was assessed to be able to understand the basic difference between right and wrong. He just did not seem to care. Sounds like an American, especially the ones that we call our leaders. Incarceration did not seem to have an intended effect on stopping Storderson from continuing his life of crime. It actually took off and expanded in extent and scope in 2019 when a Trump-era DOJ decided to revisit him, giving him a formal status as witness in the prosecution against Julian Assange and granting him immunity in return from any prosecution. So Donald Trump, I don't know how many times I have to say this, Donald Trump is a fraud. Donald Trump is a con artist. He's a bullshitter. Donald Trump is against free speech, okay? This is what Donald Trump is doing to Julian Assange. Yes, I'm against him being taken off of Twitter and all that shit, this, that, and the third, but that doesn't mean he's not down for censoring other people. And that's usually, unfortunately, and I'm going to say this, and if you're, more right-leaning and conservative-leaning, like, I want you to hear it, take it, do your own research, and eventually you'll see that what I'm saying is facts. Usually conservatives are not anti-censorship. They're just the ones being censored now. They're usually the ones that are more pro-censorship. It's insane. It's insane. And it's like, Trump isn't necessarily like conservative. I wouldn't say he's necessary. I would say he's economically conservative. Socially, like I don't buy the bullshit that he, I don't drink, I don't do drugs. I don't believe that shit. He's definitely on drugs. I'll tell you that right now. But yeah, but the whole narrative that Trump was somehow this like, guy pushing back against, the bullshit mainstream media, this, that, and the third. Sure, but he's not for the real media. Like, the guy whose information helped you win the fucking election in 2016. Yeah, that guy, Julian Assange, you're putting him in a fucking cell right now. And again, Julian did not do that to help Trump. He actually tried to get information on Trump from his fucking son. So, but yeah, so this is what what Donald Trump was doing to fucking Julian Assange. And again, these are the people they're letting walk free while Assange is sitting in the cell. Incarceration did not seem to have an intended effect of stopping Storderson from continuing to go off and expanding his. Decided to revisit. Okay, I think hang on. I'm gonna just read it again. I can't. When the Trump-era DOJ decided to revisit him, giving him a formal status as witness in the prosecution against Julian Assange, granting him immunity in return from any prosecution. So yeah. Immunity in a new crime spree. According to information obtained by Stunden, I don't know how you say that. The immunity deal between DOJ and Storderson was presented at the headquarters of the Reykjavik police, where the only role of the Icelandic policeman was to confirm the identity of Storderson before leaving him alone with his lawyer in the back room where he met the U.S. delegation. It is as if the offer of immunity, later secured and sealed in a meeting in D.C., had encouraged Storderson to take bolder steps in crime. He started to fleece individuals. Again, this is very similar to Epstein, minus like the mass, rapings and pedophilia, raping of children and possible disappearing and murder of, children, but very similar. Like it literally emboldened the guy when he got that sweetheart deal from Trump. Oh yeah, that was the broader point I was going to make. so back to this, I kind of lost my train of thought, but Trump and his connections and shit like that to people regarding Epstein and all these pedophilia people. This is why I push back on the QAnon narrative, because Donald Trump is a pedophile too. You can believe it, if you believe it or not, but that it's facts. You don't surround yourself with people, connected to people like Epstein and perfectly okay with letting people like this walk free. If you don't have, if you're not as if you're like, you have to have some affiliation in that life for you to be okay with that. Because I'm telling you, that's not happening. And especially like, I'm not even gonna do that just off the basis of Assange isn't a criminal. He's not a hacker, what's the fucking word? Cyber terrorist and shit. That's not what Assange is. He's a fucking journalist. But even if I was going after the piece of shit scum of the earth, I draw the line at pedophiles. I draw the line at pedophiles. Sorry. But when you look at the relationships he had with Acosta was the one that gave Epstein that sweetheart deal. When you look at his relationship with William Barr, whose family has deep ties with Epstein, all of these people that he's surrounding himself with associated with pedophiles and shit, like, and you guys want me to believe that he somehow he just didn't know? Well, I don't know. I'm just putting these, no. He started to fleece individuals and companies on a grander scale than ever, usually by acquiring or forming legal entities he then used to borrow merchandise, rent luxury cars, even order large quantities of goods from wholesalers without any intention to pay for these goods and services. Dorderson also forged the name of his own lawyer on notices to the company house registry, falsely claiming to have raised the equity of two companies to over $800,000. The aim was to use these entities with solid financial positions on paper in a real estate venture. The lawyer has reported the forgery to the police, where other similar cases, along with multiple other reports of theft and trickery, are now piling up. When confronted with evidence of all these crimes by Stundin journalists, he simply admitted to everything and explained it away as normal business practice. He has not yet been charged and is still practicing this business. And they put it in quotations, business. Local newspaper DV reported last week that Thordarson had attempted to order merchandise on credit using a new company name, Icelandic Vermin Control. Despite using a fake name and a COVID mask, he was identified and the transaction was stopped. He was last seen speeding away in a white Tesla, according to DV. And that's how they went into this guy's background and everything. But this is the guy they're letting walk free. Again, they're letting him walk free, walk around and do this fuckery. He's doing this while Assange is sitting in a cell for doing journalism. And let that sink in. And not a single one of these fucking journalists are saying a goddamn thing. Journalists. And you have, progressive media outlets that are smearing him and not covering this story. I saw Kyle Kalinske tweeted out, and I'm not here to pile on to Kyle like that, because I still watch his show personally. I feel like his show is informative. You just got to be careful when it comes to certain other shit. But with that being said, he was saying this is when him and Crystal had on Assange's brother and his dad, and he went on this like winded rant before they came on, like, oh, I don't see none of the mainstream media news outlets, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. Tucker Carlson had his brother on. Tucker Carlson had his brother and his and his dad on, like Crystal and Kyle did. Jimmy had them on. There's been a number of smaller outlets and a lot of Twitter activists, people like Comrade Misty and things like that. They went to the Home Run for Julian event. So people are covering this. You know who I haven't seen videos from about this? Sam Cedar, Majority Report, the Young Turks. The shit lit brigade. I think David Dole and fucking what's his name? Humanist Report. I think they put out like videos about it, but they didn't have his brother on. And I'm not going to sit here and say you should have had him on, because I don't know if they could have gotten him on. But I haven't even seen videos from any of those. That's one of the two of the biggest outlets out there. Just saying, dog. So, this needs to be covered more. And I'm challenging myself to cover this more. you know, I wasn't avoiding Julian Assange at all. Like, if y'all watch my channel, y'all know I talk about Julian. I'm just lazy. Like, that's just what it is. So I never, like, even with other events that's been going on, you know, outside of Assange with different shit, you know, it's just that, like, life happens with me, as opposed to, oh, these motherfuckers aren't covering it for a reason. Because I know you're covering everything else. You're talking about Joe Manchin 24/7. You're talking about infrastructure 24/7. Yo, and none of that shit really matters. You're literally arguing over scraps. This is the same shit, and I'm going to be getting into a lot of this, like, you know, a lot of this political theater that's going on, kabuki theater arguments over infrastructure that's not going to do anything for infrastructure. It's basically a Ponzi scheme. David Dayen wrote an article about it. So yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and close the video out here because I'm reaching 21 minutes. I told y'all, man, this was 20 minutes. If I would have done the whole thing, it would have been like an hour and a half or some shit like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this video out here, guys. Thanks for tuning in. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And just keep showing me love. I appreciate the love. You know, y'all reaching out and commenting and things like that. Definitely show more, show more love on, like, Twitter and Instagram as well too. I like talking to y'all there too. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Peace. Peace.